Hear that? Nothing? Me neither. But that's the perfect spot for your company's name to step into the spotlight. Become an underwriter for As You Mic It and let every episode be your curtain call. Slip a note to podcast@pashakespeare.org for more information.
Jess Bedford brought up how she consulted you on the Wizard 5E Almanac Butcher. Thank you. Yes, and you're like,
Oh, you know what? It's just, the script is already written. And so, I'm just like, is it too late to submit my dramaturgical notes on this one? Yeah. Because I have some notes. Like, let's speak specifically about this dragon.
Welcome back to As You Mic It, the official podcast of Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival. I'm Jason King-Jones, Artistic Director here at PSF. We're continuing our weekly In the Spotlight series, where we take a closer look at the artists and productions that make up Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival's summer season. Today, we're chatting about the complete works of Jane Austen, Abridged, a fast-paced comedy that somehow manages to squeeze all of Jane Austen's novels into a single evening of theater. Joining me are two members of the cast. One is a returning friend of the festival, while the other makes their debut. Both are bringing Austen's world to life in ways that are surprising, loving, and definitely a little chaotic. So welcome David Pica and Madeleine Garcia.
Thank you.
Hello.
We're so excited to have you here. As we're recording this, we are rounding the corner on our second week of rehearsals. We've not yet done the designer run, but you creative folks, the three people that are in the room, including Sarah Glico, the three people that are making up the company, you're already kind of in it. I looked at the rehearsal schedule for today, and there's like a line through and then a couple of runs. Yeah. The shape for this production has been established by this point that we're recording this, and we're starting to kind of like live in the repetition and the running of it. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about the process as we get into this conversation, but let's take a step back. When you were invited to join this company, what was your first response?
Okay. I'm going to tell you a super funny story because I was actually made privy to my casting while I was in the middle of a performance of A Christmas Carol at People's Light.
Oh, wow.
Yes. MB Scallon, for those of you guys, wonderful, wonderful MB, turned around and MB goes, "Oh, Madeleine, you're going to be spending the summer with one of my best friends, Jess Bedford." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, I sent my audition like a week and a half before or something, right. Normal practice, send an audition out, forget about it. Sure. Right? Just to protect your heart.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" I said what like maybe 5 times in that conversation. MB was like, "Wait, did you not know?" And I was like, "No, what?"
Oh, no.
She was like, "You're going to be in the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged at PSF with David Pica and Sarah Glico." So I ran almost in my what is oh God.
Belle? What is her costume?
No, I was in the basics. I was in the basics.
Like you the skin layer clothes.
Had my skin layer clothes, and I ran out to Ian Merrill Peaks and Gabe Moses, and I was like, "I'm gonna be at PSF this summer." And then like Jess Bedford texted MB back and was like, "Okay, when Connie sends the email, make sure that you still are just surprised."
Act surprised.
Act surprised. So that's how I found. I was like, and then I was like, "Whoa, I booked it." And then like a month later, I was like, "Oh, I gotta get into some Jane Austen."
time to read these novels.
Yes. Anyway,
that's good.
So that's what happened.
So David, top that.
Top it. Yeah, can you? I don't know if you can. Yeah,
I don't know if I can top it.
No, I'm just.
There's a companion piece. I got to audition last summer. The closing weeks of the festival, it was announced, and I was invited in. I was like, "Oh, that would be amazing. I have such admiration for these 4 playwrights, and Jessica's directing. Yeah. Oh my gosh." So I go into the room. I had been running this in my room. I had like written out the sides, part of my process to like get the words in my head.
The sides being
the audition scene. So the sides were one of Trevor's excited scenes where he's driving Spoiler? No spoiler? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's driving one of the scenes.
Sure.
So he has very excited energy, and I had brought in my own props.
You sure did.
And it was fun because it was Jessica and Jason and Connie in the room. And so I brought in my own props, and I absolutely used the auditioners, which is a no-no, but I did it.
Rules are
And
meant
so
to be
then
broken.
because I came in initially and did what the scene told me to do, that I exit the room and come back with something. So I exited the room and came back with something. I allowed my fully energized self to audition for the show.
As you
I had a
should.
great time, and then I fled the building. I was like, I'm bouncing. I need to not have this.
Wow.
So I went outside, and then it was days later, and Jason caught me just out here at our entrance door and asked me if I would join. I was very, very happy to say yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, how cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
awesome.
And then, read the play a few times.
Yeah.
Showed up on
Yeah.
day one. Yeah.
So in this play, the named characters are Trevor and Jessica and Charlotte.
Mhm.
These aren't Jane Austen characters. These are from kind of contemporary time who are kind of entering in. So who are Trevor and Charlotte and Jessica in this production?
Yeah, I want to say during table read, we were actually presented with,
Mhm.
to that point, we were presented with the option to go by our own names.
Mm-hmm.
To go, because Charlotte, Trevor, and Jessica are all real people based on, Charlotte Northeast, Jess Bedford, Trevor.
Fail.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Are we going to do the
Yeah.
same thing?
We become Sarah, Mads, and David.
Right.
Right.
And we ended up just deciding that we preferred to step into the vessel.
Mhm.
I think Sarah Glico actually said more focus on us telling the story rather than being bestowed with the responsibility of being a Janite.
Right.
Because then we open ourselves up to you have erred. You, Sarah,
yes,
you, David, have erred.
Re the Janeites.
Right. So just for listeners who don't know the story, in the conceit of the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged is Charlotte and Jessica are both Janeites who were expecting to do a presentation of the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged with another actor.
Yes, an unseen fourth name, Harry. And
Right.
Harry has booked a gig.
Harry is like at the last minute, like moments before the show, it feels like just booked a gig, and now they don't have their third actor, the male, to play the Darcys and the Bingleys and all of those roles. So then in comes this Trevor guy saying, "Hey, I happen to have noticed."
And this is a very bold move.
Very
that,
bold.
Like, it does take that initiative. There's a very my hat's off to that initiative. That's
Absolutely.
very impressive, but very, very bold. And he shows up saying that he'd put two and two together. He says, I have seen Harry's name be announced elsewhere. It's nowhere near here. Therefore, if I show up and sort of hedge all the bets, I show up looking a certain way, very keen and enthusiastic. Can I be a part of a show?
Right. This is a bit of a desperate actor move, right? Yeah.
And like a gig is anything. A gig is any work, and this is the one.
So I want to ask this. Okay, so
Please.
have either of you ever felt nearly as desperate as this Trevor actor is feeling right now to be so bold as to like come up in pseudo costume to step into a thing to say like, if you need an actor, I'm available. In fact, I know the plays so well, and you're lying about it because you don't know Jane Austen at all. So have either of you ever, like in your acting, teaching artist careers, made a big bold move like that?
When you like fork in the roads, I can imagine I was very close. Like in my younger years, and I think some of that is showing up in a new place, like moving to a new town where theater is happening, or if I wanted to like break into film, or if I was like soon leaving a place and I hadn't done the thing I wanted to do that would have been the mark of success.
Right.
That'd be like, then I'll show up and I'll just be there because maybe. The maybe that like that ability to say if turns into there's a strong possibility. Like those are different words.
Those are very different words. Yeah.
That like that belief in I can manifest it, it will happen. Yeah.
So, David, you play this Trevor character. So you're the one that shows up kind of in a costume, ready to go. And you wind up learning a lot about Jane Austen really quickly.
Very.
Coming in kind of with the lie that you know it, and then that's quickly revealed that you don't. Can you talk about the journey of like you yourself understanding and appreciating Jane Austen? I'm going to make a blanket assumption that you didn't read all of Jane Austen's before we invited you to audition.
Correct.
So what's the parallel for you between David Pica, the actor, and Trevor, the actor, the moving to appreciation of Jane Austen?
I do have Trevorisms. Like there is enthusiastic curiosity. There is a leaning forward to listen. And then also, I'm caught up in it. Somehow it's 4 a.m. I've watched the entire episode series. What? That there's that energy of I'm following everything. My brain is working in such a way that I can see where the plot is leading me, make some guesses, and I'm curious if I'm correct, because I do feel like I have a strong sense of story. The twists is something that I think both Trevor and I don't quite forecast, but the plot, the arc of story, absolutely. Yeah.
For our listeners, can you talk about what is Trevor's arc in this?
Yeah, Trevor goes from this not knowing the canon and just needing the gig, that I think the gig is a means toward money or work or fame. It's one of those things. And I think over the course of the running through all of Jane Austen's canon, I think that Trevor grows an appreciation of the work, an appreciation of the Regency era, a fuller appreciation of what it is to honor a novelist from a very different era that has survived is not the right word, but it's the draft word I'm going to use, that has survived the ages.
Legacy.
That legacy. Season themes. Yes. But the legacy of Jane Austen survives. And it does so not because of a movement or a community's will. I think it does so because it is of great value. I think she, in the same sense, and like that is at a Shakespeare Festival is 100% correct. I think she has distilled down humanity because she has some biting criticisms of the men, of the system, the patriarchy, and she has some very crystal clear insights into what the experience of all women were in Regency England.
Yeah.
You've got every age group in each book.
Right.
And so it's just that of no one else is doing it.
Sure.
No one else is doing it. And so it is I think our playwrights are history keepers and our novelists are very similar to our playwrights.
Yeah.
And I think she did that for us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. So Trevor grows that appreciation.
Yeah, he grows it. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he came in with it.
Yeah. So Maddie, you've got a different responsibility with this particular piece, playing the role of Jessica, written by the actor named Jessica, and one of the multiple playwrights in the show who also is directing the piece. So you have in the room the namesake that you are taking on, and also the person who put a lot of those words in your mouth.
Yeah.
Can you talk about navigating that journey?
So one thing I will say is that I have had the absolute honor and pleasure of working with each and every one of the playwrights on this piece.
Oh, how cool.
Yes, I've worked with Megan Winch as a frequent dramaturg on a lot of the projects that they collaborate with, KC and Inishnua. KC McMillan, I was just in Can't Forget About You, which KC McMillan directed. And Charlotte Northeast, I've acted alongside the wonderful, brilliant Charlotte, and have been directed by Charlotte in Citrus Andronicus.
Sure.
Oh, and Jess Bedford, I was in Last of the Red Hot Lovers at the Walnut. That was my first, one of my first gigs as an understudy in the Philly theater industry. And I was not Jess's understudy, but I was Grace's understudy for that show.
Grace Konglewski?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Incredible. I have gotten to know them over the last couple years. We have a very similar sense of humor and a very similar way of communicating with each other, which made each rehearsal process so freaking awesome. Initially, I was horrified because I was like, I am no Jess Bedford. So, I was listening to the As You Might Get podcast that she was on.
Oh, wow.
So great episode.
Thanks for plugging our own podcast on our podcast feed.
Did you know there's this awesome podcast called As You Might Get? But I mean, that episode was really helpful because I listened to it. Jess Bedford brought up a couple things that really stirred the pot of my heart, which was she had gone to either a writing class, workshop of sorts, and the first thing that the instructor said in this auditorium of people was, this is a writing workshop, we're studying greats or whatever, and no stories about love, i.e. no Jane Austen. And I felt the secondhand, third-hand rage. So I was like, oh my God, double need to learn about this so I can get behind this. And then later on, she brought up a student who had no connection to the Jane Austen canon and ended up starting to read it. Yeah. And during their rehearsal process was like, hey, Bedford, this is brilliant. I feel like that guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Your question, I'm tangentializing.
Playing Jessica Bedford with Jessica Bedford in the room.
That.
And it's not really Jessica Bedford. It's the character named Jessica.
Yes.
Right.
So what are those kind of layers of remove? How have you found your own identity in all of that?
Thank you. Sorry.
You're right. Tangents are all what this is all about.
Yeah.
And plugging our own podcast.
Oh, of course. Yes, absolutely. The Jessica character in the script is described as like the lilting high soprano note. And I was like, oh, I understand that completely. I am always la 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 up here all the time with my enthusiasm. Okay. In that way. When I'm enthusiastic about something, it's over. Okay. I felt like that was easily accessible. There are so many moments in the show where it's literally just Madeleine jumping around. It's like, even though I'm not familiar with this, I wasn't made privy to the Jane Austen canon, and I knew it was important, and I knew it was books that you read in school and often were assigned reading, but I only knew, the movies. I feel like where I struggled was, the very specific details of this character sucks. Okay, this character sucks. This character sucks, but this character is everything. So that's when I started to read. So I just, every level came on its own. That's what Becoming Jessica has been about.
And then in the room is just the director giving Maddie room to live then inside this Jessica character to find your own thing, and or is it like there's a container and I need you to stay inside the container a little bit?
No container.
There's no container.
I feel like,
no container.
I mean, the container is the story, I think. The container is the story, but Jess Bedford is so incredibly just willing to play and wants to see us have fun. Yeah. And I never felt like, okay, this choice I'm going to make, because I said this the first day, I love bold and inappropriate choices. It's my favorite thing to do. If that's me. And so that's what I do. I go for it. And we hope for the best, with context, obviously. Like it's just so warm to like try something and to know I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna work, but just to hear Jess Bedford laugh, just like crack up, and then us have to hold for a second and be like, was that it? Does that work?
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's not a yes. Sometimes it's like, you know what? That doesn't work for this, but I'm glad we did it.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just so open.
Yeah. Mads, if I can tell you, early days in the room, you'd shared that you were so intimidated by playing Jessica in the space, playing Jessica. And Jessica set, I think, your mind at ease, but also all of ours, that like these characters are clowns removed from the people we know, which I think freed you up. And the thing I think that Jessica's doing in our space is very much letting us run for a bit. Yeah. And the way she notes for herself and to Izzy, who's sitting next to her, they make notes themselves. And like, we're allowed to continue to keep running. And the choices, if one choice leads us to another one, and then that. So we're 3 choices away. And then we get back on task and we're like, okay, but that allowance to go on these tangential recon missions.
Yeah.
We go on all of them. We get them all observed. And Jessica gathered us yesterday after a run through, and the notes came to us of the things you've done. Some of the most successful, or the most successful one, I think, was this one. And so, like, all of our exploratory work, all of our research has been able to happen. And Mads, much credit to you. Hats off. You are one of the like boldest choice makers I've been in a rehearsal room with. Of like, you're trying stuff, as opposed to like, I'm going to stop myself, hold the script, talk about it, think about it. Like, oh my gosh, we're losing ourselves for like, I don't know how you got there. I followed everything you did. We're laughing. The script says nothing like that. Amazing. So we do all of that. But yeah, the way Jessica, of course, the way Jessica's offered us, I did want to gather all of the things you were doing in your actor research. And then for the purposes of our play, I think iteration 3, 2 days ago, was the one that was successful and can describe the thing that you did.
You did, yeah.
And so it's just that of, oh, good, we're encouraged to continue the play of the rehearsal room. We're here, we're practicing the play at play practice.
Right. Play
so
practice.
it's just that. And that's such, for this type of show.
Sure.
It works so well because they're the 3 different characters, the 3 different clowns. One of them will be in the lead and running, while the other 2 will be in supporting roles from scene to scene. And those shift. And so the ones when Mads runs, it's we're here to support. Please keep running.
Right.
We'll do it. Yeah. But yeah, when Jessica gave you the free ability and permission to, it's not me. It's like a version of someone else, and we know who it is. But like, it's a version of someone else, but we don't know that person.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, okay, great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's good permission.
And also then not naming yourself then also allows you to step into some other clown role, keep your own self protected a little bit, and give you that space to then be able to like just leap into that playful land.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Just a question that is less about process, because I think that we've clarified what this process is like, and Jessica kind of as editor of Chaos Clowns, and then figuring out which best versions work for which best beats and scenes. Each scene, for those people who don't know the play, each scene kind of focuses on a different novel of Jane Austen's. Yes.
Yes.
And then it even focuses, there's even the moment of like her juvenilia for what I think it's what it's discussed as, right?
Yep.
So can one of you kind of give us an overview of just like the structure of the play a little bit, like from those scenes? Yeah.
Yeah. We start, because Trevor enters play as, I don't know. He admits, I don't know it. After saying, I do know it.
Right.
It is discovered he doesn't know.
Right.
And so it's if we're going to do the show, then we have to start with some course, like quick tutorial.
Right.
And so it takes the Wikipedia bio page of Jane Austen. And it's like, okay, yes, of the bullet points, those are all true.
Right.
But there's more. Okay, there's so much more. And then we get down to, where do we start? And so we start with, and I think it's Jessica's line of most well known is
Pride and Prejudice.
And so we just start there. And in starting there, the storytelling convention allows us to be clear with character and go through the story character to character as a sort of, there's a magic to that one. There's a magic to each character is clear because of a little bit of assistance from the world of the play.
Right.
And so we do Pride and Prejudice, like a quick abbreviated version.
Right.
Pride and Prejudice. And then it's great, where do we go next?
Right.
And I do a quick synopsis. Trevor is so excited, he starts to read the books. And he's like, I think I got it. And they're like, do you? So he gives some quick rundowns, and they're like, you are so far off on that one and that one. That third one, you're correct. The idea you had on it, but she wrote that when she was very young. So like, of course you got that one right. And then Trevor on like that goes on his own tangent and he's in charge and he's like, but we could tell the story this way. When he's like, I'm so energetic about this.
Right.
And they're like, I don't think that's the same. And so we go from there to do another tangential offering of Emma, I think is the one that comes after that, which I think is a very meta while being fun exploration.
And then from that point, then each scene is a different exploration of a different novel.
Yes.
But the form
switch up
changes every time. So like where with Pride and Prejudice, you kind of get a 3-person abbreviated character journey that is a survey of the story, humorously depicted. Then for Emma, there's a different form to it. And then for Persuasion and on down the line, there are different forms. And then there's always a debate, as I mentioned, Persuasion, of which is the like who's favorite and which is best, and that's kind of also a question at play all the way through.
Yeah. And I think it does pit a Janeite against a Janeite about which is the best, and you can argue, and both your arguments are valid. But we're also then going to play with the form of, well, we showed it with much appreciation, and this one we showed you the greatest hit trailer edition of that was irreverent and also goofy, like all of those. So we do some fun. The styles that appear are very, very different and very fun. I feel like we're both, tell me if I'm wrong, learning so much more about the canon, characters that live as the pillars to Janeites. I said the wrong last name. That will end me. But it's that of I'm just piecing them together, but it's sharper and clearer at this point.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, you bring up an interesting point. When I spoke with Jessica about this, there seems to be a really great response from the Janeite community, right? And so keeping that in mind, do you fear that they're going to approach you during the talkbacks with specific notes and questions and an expectation that you are as versed as they?
I think, yes. I think there's a degree of fear of it, but that fear thought is really quickly followed with, of any community I've done a show or performed for, the way the Janeites are spoken about, the way the Janeites are talked about in the room, it does feel like they will be very enthusiastic to share what they would have wanted and also hold at the same time full appreciation for what we did or do. Of all the communities.
Oh my gosh, I maybe knew 2 of the 6+ novels. I only knew Pride and Prejudice and barely Sense and Sensibility. And that I only knew like the film versions. So when I was cast in this process, the first thought in my head was, oh God, I am not going to be the Emma, the Jane Bennet, the Marianne Dashwood that so many people build from just the books, but also like have these incredible people like Kate Winslet, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Emma Thompson, all those incredible actresses. I was learning my lines and I just kept being like, oh my God, he does this? Oh, he did that? Wait, I should probably read the books. I bought the books. So now I think, at the end of this process, or hopefully by the time that we get to an audience, I feel like I will have bolstered enough confidence to respond to those questions and to be like, yes, or yes, but, I certainly don't want to fight a Janeite. Janeites, as described in our play, are vicious and also so strong. I'm excited. I feel like I'm ready to meet that challenge. I was afraid last week, but now
the fear's gone.
The fear is still there. No, the fear is still there, but it is like, okay, I'm no longer just a vessel. I have my own opinions about it and my own faves. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm excited.
I was thinking about Janeites. Less that they're vicious and more that they're passionate.
Passionate, yes.
Yeah. They have this unending love for the worlds and the people that Jane Austen creates. And they want to make sure that people are aware of this. And they want to make sure that people don't devalue her.
I was just thinking that word, like the value a thing they hold special or dear.
Yeah.
That value of it matched with a passion for it is such an incredible combination in a person, let alone a group. I find it difficult to land on the language that fully appreciates the value someone puts on something that they read. Like it was read as a novel, and that is a very intimate one-to-one experience with the world the novelist has created, and that's yours, and you get to go talk about it, but I can't possibly land on all of the words to express what it did to me inside when I read it, because it's activated my imagination, and that's such a powerful thing. And so that there's a whole group then of like-minded, we all appreciate, we all love this to this degree, we value it similarly. Yeah, I have such admiration for any group, but especially one that is based around books. That's so impressive.
For an audience member who loves Jane Austen, why come see Complete Works of Jane Austen Abridged?
This will tickle you so much.
Yes.
As a response to it, I think you'll get tickled. I think that if you've not been or experienced titillation, I think this will happen.
Oh my.
I trust we will titillate.
The summer of 2026 is the summer of titillation.
Yeah,
Titillation.
legacy and legends and titillation.
Okay.
But I think there will be, we make homages. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we offer some of the story arcs that are those jolts of, I do love that one.
Yeah.
That I do love that one so much. So if you feel like a little bit of nostalgia, great. If you feel like opening up your mind or your heart to maybe a different interpretation,
Oh, yeah.
come check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like a couple days ago, it was actually when you were elsewhere,
Oh, yeah.
we were putting together the epilogue for the first time.
Okay.
And the way everything came together, because it ended up being a love letter / retelling exploration of one of Jane Austen's lesser works,
Yeah.
leaving that a secret. We had such an insanely beautiful emotional response to it. I'm like, everyone in the room almost was crying.
Oh.
It just unlocks something inside that someone so incredible like Jane Austen, someone who is everywhere, if you think about it, someone who had a short life, someone who had such a deep understanding of what love can be, and not just one way. Each novel represents a different kind of love story, and the epilogue feels like a true conjuring.
Yeah. I think come to the show because to gather is sacred.
Yeah.
I think if you find yourself as a part of a larger community, then do it in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's to answer the question that I haven't yet asked is like, if I don't understand Jane Austen or I haven't read anything about Jane Austen, why do I come see the show?
To have a good time.
To have a great time,
Yeah.
to see velociraptors.
And to see velociraptors, to be curious about something you're unfamiliar with is a very important step of growth. I think we could benefit greatly from a little more curiosity.
Oh my God, yeah. You remember when I said, when you were gone, I cried about you, about Trevor.
Oh.
I cried about Trevor because I feel like Trevor represents those people, the people who are not familiar. But, there's a line that's like, I think it fits into the way I want to see the world.
Yeah.
We have Trevor, who is curious, present, kind, easily corrected, without ego, without defense, just curiosity. Oh, a want to connect, a want to be in community. Oh, that's why I cried about Trevor.
I think that's a good place to end it. Madeleine Garcia, David Pica, thank you so much for your time today on As You Mic It. And encourage everybody to come out and check out the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged at PSF.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And that wraps up another episode of As You Mic It. A huge thanks to David Pica and Madeleine Garcia for joining us today. Previews for the complete works of Jane Austen Abridged begin on June 24th and it runs through July 12th. For more details on our complete works, special event extras like epilogues, talkbacks, tickets, and more, check out our website at pashakespeare.org or call our box office at 610-282-WILL. That's 610-282-9455. For all of us here at As You Mic It and Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at La Buddha. Thank you for listening to As You Mic It, a Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival presentation recorded on the beautiful campus of DeSales University. Our music is by Cedric Lamar, with hosts Jason King-Jones, Kim Carson, and Connie Behringer. Our podcast intern is James Nardiello. For more information on our summer theater series, giving opportunities, tickets, and more, visit our website at pashakespeare.org. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you at La Buddha.
Ready for an epic summer? Experience the Legends and Legacy season at PA Shakespeare Festival. It's a summer of unforgettable stories, rock and roll nights, and heartbreaking rivalries. Subscriptions to the 2026 Summer Theater Series are on sale now. Subscribe today at pashakespeare.org. Behind every standing ovation is a network of patrons who know that theater changes lives. With tickets funding only half the cost, PSF counts on contributions to produce world-class theater, cultivate new audiences, and nurture future generations of artists. Give today at pashakespeare.org/support. Great theater is a collaboration both on stage and off.